Hey you, it's Jess here and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a flashback spread. So this was one of my September spreads in 2019. I think it was the end of September. And it was a very pretty autumn kit from SPC with art by TWG Designs, RIP. Well, RIP in terms of doing planner art, you know. But it was a very beautiful spread. I had some rose gold with it, and this is before COVID, which is hilarious. So you get to see what I did that September week. And I'm using the Scribble Prints Co July 2021 mystery, which was recently reformatted and re-released. So I think you can still go pick it up if you want it. But this is just the mystery version. It's super pretty, and I'm going to pair the Caress Press Silver Pumpkin Spice bundle from last year with it, which I think is so cute. And yeah, so I'm super excited. This is sort of like a bonus plan with me if you want to watch some stickers get put down, and I'm going to do an autumn tag with a bunch of questions about autumn, and I am going to put them down below in the description box. So if you want to do that too, you can put it in a comment, or if you do videos, you can answer these in videos when you do your fall spreads. I just think it's a cute tag. I collected a few questions from everywhere, and then I put some planner ones right at the end that I made up myself. So they're not great, but you know, I think it'll be fun to go through this with a little extra stuff and just talking about the season. And I thought seasonal flashbacks might be fun. It just gives you some more stickers to look at, more plan with me's to watch. And it was fun to look back on what I was doing this week. But we will get a bit more into that once we get into the day by day. But while we do the setup, let's do some autumn questions. So the first one is, what is your favorite autumn drink? And oh, that's so hard. I think actually I kind of love the idea. At the moment, I really want a hot chocolate. I don't drink a lot of, I don't really drink hot coffee, although I think a hot pumpkin spice latte is actually really tasty. So probably that too, but also I just really want a hot chocolate right now. So maybe hot chocolate, because it's like after summer, finally we can have and enjoy some hot drinks, and hot chocolate sounds good about now. What's one thing you love about autumn? Probably that it's cold, but not too cold, and I love rain, and I love the changing color of the leaves, and I love leaves all over the ground. I know I said one thing you love, but it's everything, man. I don't know, maybe just like the cool breeze and the crunching of leaves, and I don't know, I kind of just love that change from the bright green of summer to more yellows and oranges and browns. Are you a pumpkin spice fan? I do enjoy pumpkin spice. It was never a thing growing up in Australia. It's just not a thing. It's barely a thing there now. Unless you have Starbucks in your city, which they're only in like 4 cities in Australia, which wasn't mine. So it was a long time until I ever had pumpkin spice. I was basically 30 when I had pumpkin spice for the first time. But I do enjoy it. I think it's like, you know, the spices themselves are pretty standard, like Christmassy spices, but then you have the little hint of pumpkin, which is really nice. So I know, I like pumpkin spice. I just, you know, it's never been like a thing until my 30s for me. What's your favorite full scented candle? So when I used to buy candles, like from, I used to order them from Bath and Body Works and send them to my forwarding address. I really loved Marshmallow Bonfire, and I also really love the one called Leaves. The Leaves one smells like applesauce to me, like, you know, freshly made applesauce. Ugh, delicious. So probably leaves or like apple scents as well as marshmallow bonfire. But I haven't had those in a long time. I know I just kind of stopped buying candles, to be honest. How about your favorite autumn themed movie? And I think my brain instantly goes to You've Got Mail. I think like, it starts off autumny and I feel like it just feels like an autumn film. I just love You Got Mail. I think it's my favorite rom-com of all time. I just love Meg and Tom and the bookshop and chatting on AOL. I just love it all. Although, it obviously goes through winter and ends in spring, but the autumn feels at the start of the movie I just love. So it feels like an autumn movie to me. Either that or verging into Halloween, we got Practical Magic, which I think is more of an autumn film. Yeah. So You've Got Mail and Practical Magic for sure are my favorite autumn themed movies. And do you have an autumn tradition? I suppose, I don't know. Here in Finland, I get my jumpers out and I start wearing all my cozy jumpers, or as Americans would say, sweaters. In Australia, we call them jumpers. Yeah, that's like probably my tradition. Because all summer long, they were out of here. They were gone. I didn't have like air conditioning to be cold enough ever to have a jumper on year round. So out comes the jumpers and I'm so happy. I love them. So that's probably my autumn tradition. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know if there's much traditions. In Australia, it's like you don't really have that seasonal living idea. I only ever learnt about that through planning. So you don't get these like pumpkin picking or hay rides or anything like that. It's just the season changed. So life goes on. So I think getting my jumpers out for the cold weather is kind of like a tradition. What's your go-to beauty product in autumn? Your go-to autumn beauty product, and I think it's going for like the thicker moisturizer. You want to get that out. I actually don't like creamy moisturizers. I prefer gel types. And I love this Mizon one that has like snail acids in it. But like applying that thickly over the top of all my other serums and stuff is just like so delicious in autumn and the cold weather, because you just need that moisturization after the summer. But I think like a heavier moisturizer is my go-to autumn beauty product. And if we're talking makeup, probably a dark lip if I never did that. But I love the idea of a dark lip in autumn. Like a dark berry. And then your favorite autumn accessory. I know people like, I think it has to be, I'm ridiculous, but it has to be my Ugg boots. Soz, but I love my Uggies. I get to crack them out because the great thing is, okay, so Ugg boots are not made for like snow or anything like that. They're for Australian winters because they're Australian, which doesn't have snow. They're made for surfers, actually. After they get out of the water, they need to warm their feet up. So Uggs. So I feel like Uggs are the perfect autumn shoe because it's like, well, as long as you waterproof them, because they can get a bit wet. But because it's cold enough to wear Uggs, but not too cold that you need like proper boots on, like if it's snowing or whatever. So Ugg boots, is that a really accessory? I think so. Otherwise, I guess most people will say like a scarf or something, but I have a really hot neck, and my neck is also really short. I have a short neck. I say it all the time. I have a non-existent neck, so scarves don't do much for me, honestly. And how many other accessories do I wear? So I think it has to be my Ugg boots. And so what does your typical autumn outfit look like? Ugg boots. I like to wear my ripped black jeans because, again, it's still cold, but it's not too cold that I can't have holes in my jeans. So my ripped black skinny jeans, my black Ugg boots, a nice comfy t-shirt, and a big old jumper. So I actually call this fashion my basic goth fashion. So instead of being like basic fall girl or whatever, it's the goth version, so it's all black. With my black Uggs and my black jeans and my black jumper. But that's how I like to dress in the autumn, nice and snugly. Then we have apple pie or pumpkin pie, and I'm gonna have to say apple pie because it is the ultimate pie. Apple. If you live in Australia, you know pretty much apple pie is like the only pie that exists. Maybe apricot pie as well, but I feel like apple pie is mostly. It's because apple pie is actually a British thing, and being Commonwealth, we just have all the apple pies. So I love apple pie. I love it. I never had pumpkin pie until I made it myself when I was like 27, because I found I actually baked the pumpkin and pureed it myself because you couldn't buy canned pumpkin in Australia. So that was fun. It was okay, but it doesn't beat a good apple pie. I just love apple pie. So, apple pie. What's your favorite autumn food? And I think it has to be, we have to bring on the soups and the stews. We always have this this inside joke. We used to make a lot of vegetable soup, especially in the cold weather, Locke and I, because we love cooking together. And this one time, I was cracking the fresh pepper into the soup, and I don't know, when your hands just suddenly stop working. Anyway, I just suddenly dropped the whole pepper grinder into the soup, and it just disappeared. And that was one of those instances where I almost peed myself laughing. But now every time we make soup, we're like, don't drop the pepper grinder, and it's been like 10 years since that happened. Anyway, soups. Which we love to make all sorts of different soups together. It's super fun. So I think that's my favorite autumn food. Just getting all the hot food out. Now these are the ones that I made up, so I apologize. But what kind of autumn art do you like in your planner? And I think for me, I don't really connect with like pumpkin picking or hay rides or anything, because that just didn't happen growing up. Just doesn't happen in Australia. So I really love like apple stuff. Apples, I just love the look of apples. I love the taste of apples. I love the smell of it. I just love apple. So anything apple related. I love like a baking or cooking, like pie making stuff. I just love like forest looks with all the leaves. Apple autumn picnic is kind of nice. I don't know. I feel like autumn is kind of our favorite art. For most people, it's their favorite art time. Also, not many people. Actually, I know a few people who they much prefer like summer stuff, which I get because the colors. But I think like autumn. Oh, coffee sets. I love coffee sets. They're often very autumny. Coffee, apples, leaves, just cozy stuff, I'm not sure. Let me know if you want to answer that one, especially in the comments, because it'd be interesting to know like what themes people really like for autumn. Because I am honestly out of ideas. And then finally, how long do you use autumn kits in your planner? Because I think this is interesting. I feel like this is one of those things that changes up. Like, so in Australia, it was different because our autumn is January, February, March, April, May. March, April, May is autumn in Australia. So actually, I used 3 straight months of autumn art when I lived in Australia, because the difference is you don't have Halloween right in the middle, So I was able to use a lot more autumn art in Australia. And I used a lot less spring art, which was nice, because I'm not that big into spring art. But now I live in the northern hemisphere. I pretty much In Australia, the seasons are calendar seasons and not moon phases or equinoxes. So autumn would start on September 1st for me, so that's when it starts for me. So that first week I like to use the autumn kit, although I might use more transitional stuff at the end of August, because I gotta get all the autumn in I can, because October is all Halloween. And then start of November can also be a little Halloween. End of September is also a little Halloween. But then I try and use autumn all the way until December, just to really like maximize that time. But if it snows in November, then I might change up and switch to Christmas and winter earlier. But if it doesn't, so when I lived up north in Oulu, like near the Arctic Circle, it pretty much always snowed in November, so I didn't use as much autumn there. But down here in Helsinki, it doesn't really snow until December, so we have time to use autumn kits. So I kind of take a break around October, but that's why I try and start at the end of August to get those autumn kits in, and I go all the way up to December. So it was a lot easier in Australia, although all the winter Christmas kits was a bit weird because it was summer then. But yeah, no, that's how it is. But that is how long I use autumn kits in my planner, and that is all of the questions in this autumn tag. We got pretty well through this video. I'm like on Friday here. But yeah, so let me know in the comments if you're gonna do this for a video, or if you just want to do it in the comments, go ahead. Super fun, and just getting into that autumn mood and feeling snuggly, even though I know it's still hot in a lot of places. Oh my god. And Heidi just came out from under the bedding. It was very funny, like a little head being birthed out of the blankets. Yeah, just thought it'd be fun to like start off the season and start thinking about the best parts of autumn. So let me know down below, it'd be great. But then looking at this week that I had in September in 2019, we watched the show Chernobyl on HBO, which is so good. Highly recommend if you haven't seen it yet. And then we're on a Jared Harris kick because he's the star in Chernobyl. So we watched The Terror, which I recently read the book of because it's based on a book, the first season of The Terror, which is about the real lost Franklin expedition, but it makes it a bit more mystical, a bit more horror. So if you're looking for a cold Arctic horror, I highly recommend The Terror. It was really, really good. And I love me some sailing boys. So that was fun. And I remember watching it in our apartment in Oulu. I put Decorate for Autumn because I think I put up some like little lights and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. And this was when I was still doing my PhD thesis because I didn't finish until 2020. So I've got my thesis work going through there, emailing my supervisors. I was using a Printpression Weeks at that time, apparently. I don't remember. I think, yeah. So I had videos for PB Weeks, apparently, which is interesting. And, yeah, I remember it was pretty autumny at this point. We had a lot of beautiful trees that were around our apartment, so when you looked around, it was all very orange and yellow. Very nice and autumny. And, yeah, so what else? I don't know. Nails done. I think I was painting my nails still at this point. I hadn't found Dashing Diva stickers yet, but they changed my life. Changed my life forever. And I'm going to go back and have a squiz. Yeah, I went back. We had rugs delivered, which I think was our bedroom rug, which we still have. Very nice. I bought them from Germany, which is funny. and they got delivered. And I also got my new laptop, so I got a new laptop this year in 2022. So 2019 to 2022. It's not terrible. I use my laptop literally every day for hours on end, and I do, video editing and Photoshop and all that. But also, I'm pretty sure that new laptop, I bought an older version so I could get it cheaper but have like better RAM and stuff. So I guess that makes sense that I had to replace it. But yeah. So also got that new laptop. That's always fun to set up. Then it looks like on Saturday I did a whole bunch of drawing. Oh, and I watched Dracula, which is obviously, this is the end of September. So we're getting into Halloween time, and Bram Stoker's Dracula is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love it, and I know even people say like Keanu was bad in it, but I actually think he does the character really well, and it's very charming, so I think it works for what this movie is. So I watched Dracula because I love it. So good. And I used one of these like vampire Sweet Ava's paper snowballs for the first time, and she's so cute. So adorable. And look at me using my proper stickers in a mock spread. I'm not cheaping anything out for these videos. I really wanted to plan them as if I was planning today of a fresh week, so that's why all the stickers are beautiful. Because there's always this like this call deep in my mind of like, just use like meh stickers so you don't waste them on this like not real spread, even though it's real plants. But I just need to say no. I want a beautiful spread and a beautiful video, and I think it looks so pretty, and it gives you inspo for the coming season, I think. So I don't know. That's just what I was thinking. And then it looks like on Sunday I finished that art. I drew one day this week and it's done. I don't know. Maybe it was almost done the whole time. But I sent those files, so it must have been for Andrea, a custom. Then I filmed, and then I was apparently in my feelings. I don't know what about. It looks like on Thursday night we made a cottage pie. Delicious. A cottage pie is a shepherd's pie, but if you use beef. I know it's just a shepherd's pie in the States, but that's such a pet peeve of mine because shepherd's pie is a lamb because shepherds. And it's cottage pie if you use beef because shepherds don't have beef. They have sheep. Anyway, that's the distinction between the two pies. I'm just saying. It's just a pet peeve of mine, I think we've all got those things. That's just one of them. But we made cottage pie because we used beef. And also we had hot wings on Sunday night, which is always fun. I think we finished watching The Terror, and then I think there's another show after this. Did we start another thing? Oh, but The Terror is really good, as is Chernobyl. Oh, we're just watching game stuff from Yogscast and bed early. So it's a pretty chill week. Looks like I got some uni work done and some art at the end there. I started watching some real cozy dark shows. That is the original spread, and this is the new one. So the difference is I wasn't doing like bougie boxes and things like that, but I was doing my up, down, up, down. So that's fun. I've been doing it for a while now, which is cool to find out. But yeah, if you like this, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. Don't forget to do the tag in the description. It was super fun, and I'd love to hear your responses. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope you have a wonderful autumn coming up, and it's full of beautiful spreads and fun times. But otherwise, I will see you next time for some more actual, normal, up-to-date planning. But yeah, love you. Bye.